Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to teach you how to do a good round brush blowout style in your hair. Now let's start with the tools you're going to need to achieve this look. The tools. You'll be needing some clips, a large wide tooth comb, a round brush. I recommend one about the size of a pop can, that way you're going to get more volume as opposed to curl, and also one with a ceramic core that's going to heat up and set the style as you're blow drying. Of course, your blow dryer, and if you have it, the directional piece that goes on the end of your blow dryer. It's going to help smooth out the hair strand. And then of course product. Today I'm going to be using the Straightening Ultra Gel on my mid strands to ends to help smooth out my wave. And on my regrowth I'm going to use a Quaj Thickening Spray Gel to help give me a little bit more body and thickness. Before we get started, you want to make sure to towel dry your hair after you've shampooed and conditioned it. And now we're going to apply our product. I'm going to put a little bit of the Straightening Ultra Gel from my mid strands to ends. So that is just kind of grabbing mid strands to ends, looping it all the way through my hair, working it through, concentrating on any areas that have a little bit more curl to help smooth that out. And then I'm going to spray in the Thickening Spray Gel at my regrowth. That's just going to give me a little bit more body. I'm going to lift up the section and just spray it in. Kind of rough it back in. And voila! I'm going to use my wide tooth comb to make sure that all of my product is evenly dispersed all throughout my hair. And now we're going to start with the directional messy blow dry. For the directional messy blow dry, we're going to start with a section in a horseshoe about your temples and blow dry everything above that line in the opposite direction. So it looks like this. You want to start blow drying everything from your temples into the opposite direction, focusing on drying the root at this time. So everything on my right is going left, everything in the back is coming forward, and everything on this side is going to the other side. Anything below that horseshoe line, you just blow dry coming down. Above, opposite direction. Before your hair gets too dry, you want to make sure to dry your bangs the way you want to wear them. I part mine off down to the side, so I'm going to dry those down. Now you're going to want to blow dry your hair like this till it's about 85 to 90% dry. We want a little bit of moisture left while we round brush to help set the style, but we want it to be pretty much dry. Note that if you have bangs that stick straight up, you want to make sure to blow dry those first so that you don't have any crazy bangs. Also, note that while I am blow drying it, I am also using my other hand to pull the hair to help get the most volume that I can out of this section before we head and round brush. Using a couple clips, we're going to divide our hair in half. Again, taking a section in a horseshoe at your temples and pin everything above that section up. We're going to work from the bottom to the top. Sectioning will help not get hair caught in your brush, and it really gives you more control. So now, if you have that director piece for your blow dryer, you want to snap it on your blow dryer. As opposed to angling it this way, I suggest turning it to the side. That way, when you're blow drying, it shoots down the hair strand and it makes it easier for you. The keys to round brushing are truly sectioning and making sure that you're not grabbing too much hair that your brush can't handle. You want to take a section as wide as your brush and as long as your brush so your hair doesn't get caught into your brush. After doing your directional blow dry, your roots are pretty much dry, so you don't have to focus on drying them at this point. Now we're going to take a section that our brush can handle, gathering it in to your brush, starting your blow dryer. We want to angle the air down the hair strand. It's going to help smooth it at the same time. In this section, we are not looking for volume. We're just looking to give it a little bit of a curl It's heating up and smoothing at the same time. You'll also note that I drop my hair out onto my blow dryer and then I pick it back up with my brush. That way I'm not turning it 1,000 times towards my hair. And I never rotate my brush all the way to my scalp. That way I don't grab hair from other sections and get it tangled. Wrap it out. Grab a section behind that, making sure not to take too much. And it's only going in my brush. See how that can get caught in your handle? And bringing it down and blow drying it out. Moving to the back. Since your regrowth is already dry, you only have to worry about your mid-strands to ends. That's why it makes it a little bit easier when your hair is longer, that you can kind of bring it off to the side and still have control and still give it a polished look in the back. You're going to carry on to the other side, grabbing a section as wide as your brush, and blow drying it coming down. You want to let it curl towards the ends, heat it up really well, let it sit for a second, and drop it out. It'll give it more of a curl. It really doesn't take too long since your hair is mostly dry to begin with. It just helps set the style and smooth out the hair at the same time. Now let me show you the top. Moving on to the top, we're going to take down our previously pinned up section and resection the hair. We want to gather everything in the middle and pin that up out of the way. Your top section is going to be in three. You're going to have one side, the other side, and then the very top left at the end. So just pin that up out of the way. And now we can move on to the top. Now in the top sections, we're looking for maximum volume. In order to achieve maximum volume, we want to bring the hair strand all the way up. So that would look like blow drying your hair with your brush and your hair going straight all the way up. A trick that I've learned over the years is to actually tilt your head off to the side and heat it up and blow dry it that way. It's a lot easier and it gives you the same amount of volume. Again, taking a section only as wide as your brush and as long as your brush. We're going to heat up the hair strand. For maximum volume, you want to let your hair sit in your brush for a second and then drop it out. It's going to give it a second to cool and give you more body. You're just going to do this all the way around the head. Remember, the roots are already dry, so you don't have to do as much work. Same goes for the other side. Now, as opposed to bringing it straight up, which you can if that's easier for your arm, you can also lean this off to the side. Give it in a second to cool to set the body, and dropping it out. Just a couple more sections, and then we'll move to the very, very end. Now our top middle section. We're going to take it in three different parts. First, unclip your previous section, and we're going to dry it in 1, 2, 3. So you have your back, middle, and front. First, we'll start with the back and move forward. So again, you want to take a section that your brush can handle. You can just set it in. This is the easiest one, because all you do is blow dry it coming up, straight from your head. Gives you the best volume. I find that this one's a little bit easier to actually rotate as opposed to dropping it out, because sometimes you can lose hair. Let it sit for a second, drop it out. See all the body that you get? Now, the middle section. This one I'm also going to bring in that same exact motion, just going back. It's going to fall to whatever side it wants to fall to. so there's no need to pick a side. Let it sit and drop it out. Now the very front section. We still have this section and then you have your bangs. If you part off to the side, you want to bring this section off to the side that you're parting to. If you part in the center, you can just drop it out just like this, how we were doing the back and the middle, and it'll go to whichever side it wants to that day. Since I part to this side, I'm going to grab this last section. I'm going to take my brush in a 45-degree angle, mirroring the part that I have. I'm going to heat this up. Now I want to heat it coming over and then cool coming down. Let me show you that again. This is the trick to my side bangs. You can include your bangs in this part if your bangs are long enough. If they're pretty short, they might end up sticking up, so you want to make sure your bangs are long to do this. Now you want to take your brush in a 45-degree angle, mirroring the way that your bangs move. Heat it up. Heat it up coming over and let it cool swooping down. Simply brush it back over with your hot brush and it gives you a little bit of curl, a little bit of movement. It gives you that swoop to the side. Now if you don't like it sticking up like that, you can always just brush it coming down. So now you're done. If you feel like any of your hair needs a little bit more attention, you can always go back through with your round brush because your ceramic core will heat up and set the style at any level of dryness. If you want your ends to pop out a little bit, you can simply grab them in your brush, heat it up a little bit, barely rotating my brush, just kind of keeping it in my ends, let it sit for a second and drop it out. And that'll give you that little kick towards the ends. If you have any other questions, please feel free to leave a comment underneath this video and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Good luck styling, and take care.